Nick Offerman, just coming off his Emmy win for best guest appearance in a motion or in a television series drama, obviously for his episode 3 role that everybody in the world talked about of The Last of Us. It's one of those things. I remember when everybody saw that episode, that was it. Just give him the Emmy right now. Just, there's no point in waiting. Just give it to him. Well, this weekend, the Emmys gave him that well-deserved Emmy Award as one of the most talked about single episodes of television of the last couple of years. Well, success tends to breed ideas. Sometimes good ideas, sometimes not so good ideas. But one of the ideas that's been touted around is that, hey, clearly people love this character. Maybe we should do a prequel series. And apparently they are talking about it. This comes to us from Deadline. They write the following. Nick Offerman told Deadline that the team is, quote unquote, not short on ideas for a prequel series about the lives of Bill and Frank before they met, fell in love, and died together. I would have to ask somebody with a higher pay grade than myself, he said. It certainly has been pitched. I think we pitched a whole miniseries of a prequel of their lives before they met each other. It could be a musical. We're not short on ideas. We'll just see what Craig Mazin and Neil Druckmann come up with. And that comes to us, of course, from Nick Offerman, who again, now has a fresh, brand new Emmy sitting on, and for those of you who may not know, played maybe arguably the greatest character in television history on Parks and Rec. So I'm a little bit torn on this. I'll be honest with you. I loved this character. I loved this story. It humanized that entire series. Like episode 3, really near the beginning of the show, and it gave such an epic, humanizing, emotional basis of humanity to what could have easily just evolved into another rah, rah, shoot the zombies in the head, rah, rah, kind of show. This was the episode that epitomized the brilliance of the show overall. Still totally carried by Pedro Pascal and whatnot, but I mean, this was the episode that really told you this is a different kind of show and one of the most special things I think we've ever seen on TV. And I'm always down for seeing more Nick Offerman, whether it's in a character like this, whether it's Ron Swanson, whatever he wants to do. I'm all great. But that being said, I'm also not big on prequel stuff. We know where everything's going. We know the story of Bill and Frank now. And while I think, and I don't mean to be disingenuous because I'm not going to lie to you, if they made this show, I will definitely watch it. But should they make it? And I kind of feel that it might lose some of that emotional potency because we know not just how their story ends, but in what such emotional crescendo their story ends. And to go back and tell other stories of them either after they met or prior to them meeting, I think we'll just have lost that entire sense of wonder. Like, as we saw their relationship developing in that 3rd episode, wondering, how is this relationship going to evolve? What will they be like? What will they come to mean to each other? And ultimately, how does their story end? None of that can be present anymore. And so, again, not to be disingenuous, if they made it, I would watch it. But I don't think they should make this. I think they should just move on from this. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's episode, MasterClass. Everyone, it's a new year, so picture that thing that you've always wanted to learn. Now, picture learning it from a person who's literally one of the best in the world at it, and that's what you get with MasterClass. This year, learn from the best to become your best with MasterClass. Don't just talk about improving, MasterClass helps you actually do it. Because MasterClass offers over 180 world-class instructors, so whether you want to master negotiation with Chris Voss, like I did, think like a boss with Martha Stewart, or learn the art of storytelling from the man himself, Neil Gaiman, MasterClass has you covered. Because with MasterClass, you get unlimited access to intimate one-on-one classes with the world's best. At MasterClass, there are over 200 classes to pick from, with new classes being added every month. And if you're a viewer of the John Campea Show, you probably love movie making, storytelling, television, so you would be totally interested in things like screenwriting from Aaron Sorkin, learn developing original TV series from Stranger Things' The Duffer Brothers, or maybe you like the music side of movies, well, you can learn film scoring from Hans Zimmer. And right now, our listeners will get an additional 15% off an annual membership at masterclass.com/Campea. Get 15% off right now at masterclass.com/Campea. masterclass.com/Campea. Anyway, Chris, I know you agree that this was one of the most beautiful episodes of television I've ever seen.
Yeah.
They're pitching the idea of doing some prequel content. Do you like it? Do you not like it? How do you see it?
I hate it. I don't like it at all. This, for me, is a perfect episode of television. It is a perfect episode of television, in my humble opinion. The relationship pace that they are able to achieve in this episode is so phenomenal. You care about them so much. You follow through with where they are at in their relationship. You understand why these two people would want to die together. You understand that this episode is here to show us that humanity is worth fighting for because people can fall in love every single day, no matter the circumstances. I don't want them to touch this. No, like you, I would tune in if it happened just to see it, but I'd have a very John Mulaney, this ought to be good kind of attitude about it. I just feel like because we know how they met, because we saw some of the issues and hurdles they already had to overcome, and because we see ultimately what happens to them, I don't feel like you can mine something particularly, I don't know, not interesting. Interesting's not the right word, because it still would be interesting. Meaningful, yeah. I think that's the issue here, is this was such a wonderfully built episode. I don't think it needs anything else. One of the best things that happens in film is the editing process, right? You need to know when to edit. Same thing with when you're making a recipe, right? You need to know when you stop putting in ingredients. This is a perfect souffle. Nobody touch it.
All right, guys, question is for you. What do you think? Would you be interested in them doing more episodes, a mini series or an anthology series, whatever, just of Bill and Frank? Or do you think, you know what? It was so good that it would take away anything you do in anything new anyway. It would lose some part of its heart or soul. I don't know. How do you guys feel about it? Jump on down in the comments and let us know down below. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show Podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.